Hey everybody, welcome back to Durbin's Bourbon. I'm Joe.
And I'm Josh.
Today we're doing a Canadian whiskey review. This particular one is Canadian Club. This is a 12-year. That's a pretty decent cork pop.
Yeah.
What sent me down this rabbit hole was...
Rabbit hole? That's another whiskey.
I found back in the bar, buried under about an inch of dust, was an old Canadian Club whiskey that was a 6-year age stated. I did a little research, and this particular bottle I discovered, you can find dates on the bottoms of glass bottles. And a lot of times it will tell you the date that it was produced. This one, however, doesn't have that info on it. But I'm going back. It's a fairly old because you can't find age-stated Canadian Club anymore.
Except this one.
Except this one, but the newer ones.
Right.
So then I ran and bought a brand new one. Very reasonable, by the way. It's like $14. It's pretty good, but it doesn't taste the same as the 6-year. So that pushed me on to more age, possibly Mo Betta. So I got this 12-year in our state. It was actually on sale, $19.95.
Not bad for a 12-year.
For a 12-year age-stated whiskey. Canadian Club is a blended whiskey, so they take the minimum age, is going to be 12 years or older in this. It says on here caramel notes and stuff like that, so we'll see. I've already drank some out of it. I was really pleased with it, how sweet it was and how easy sipper.
It's 80 proof, right?
Yes, I believe so. Correct, it is.
Most Canadians are.
Yeah. This one's easy to square up to the camera, too, because it's square.
Yeah.
Right there.
Amazing.
I like those round ones. A nice color.
I don't get a whole lot on the nose.
Yeah, just a little
alcohol, a little caramel.
Little caramel. Yeah, caramel, vanilla, and maple.
Yeah, maybe
a couple
maple.
more things. The maple kind of dominant, which I got on the younger versions of the Canadian Club as well.
What's their mash bill? Is it mostly corn, like bourbon?
I think Canadian. I don't know the actual mash bill. I know that they are
pretty sweet.
Dominant rye, actually.
Are they
a
really?
lot of rye in Canadian whiskeys.
Makes sense. There's probably a lot of rye up there.
Correct, grows up there. So yeah, it is. It is going to have a rye in it, but it's definitely not noticeable on the nose. So what gives Canadian that unique maple?
Caramely maple.
Yeah, because you would think it's.
Wonder what the secondary. Well, I wonder if the secondary grain is like wheat or something. That's.
I don't know.
The corn's the sweet one.
Corn is the sweet one, so it might be dominant on that. Just has a unique nose, unlike your American bourbons.
Right.
Should we go in for a taste?
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers,
everybody.
Weird. I get a weird aftertaste.
Yeah, that one was kind of one-dimensional, actually.
What's that aftertaste I'm getting? It's almost bitter. You get that at all? He's just glad I had a cookie.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
And cookies would be the death of me. I'm not getting much.
I don't get a lot of I don't get the bitter. To be fair, I just had lunch and
knocked out 2 McRibs.
Booyah.
Oh,
got to try them every year. They come out since 1981.
you only eat it because
I'm nostalgic.
tradition. Yeah,
It's a tradition. I go get 2 McRibs every year when they come out, and that's all I'll eat. Just those 2.
Ugh.
Since 1981.
That's gross.
Except for that time they took them off the market for some.
That was for a
strange
couple
reason.
years, wasn't it?
Yeah, they disappeared.
Boy,
sad.
I bet you were in some turmoil.
I was pretty sad.
I like how this whiskey is so good. We started talking about McRibs.
Segue into it. It's a decent whiskey.
Yeah.
I had it
for
on
$20
ice.
bucks?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I had it on ice too, and it was really good.
It was.
It's easy to drink if you're new. You're trying new whiskeys and stuff, and you're not, bourbon might be too harsh or like peated scotches.
Right.
Canadians are usually typically a little easier to
Great
drink.
segue whiskey. If you're a wine drinker and you're kind of wanting to try something new, or you're just curious about whiskey, Canadian whiskeys are, just like Josh said, really, really approachable, easy on the palate. They're usually a pretty low proof, 80 proof. It's pretty standard across the board. And
Something I'm getting on the back end of that, and I don't know what it is.
I'll try. I add a little water, but great gateway whiskey, I think.
Especially for $20, and it's 12-year. I don't get much
get
flavor.
There's a little bitter back there.
Yeah,
There is something.
it almost
bitter.
has the when you taste a new whiskey, that weird astringentness at the end. I know it's not new, but just that's all I can
Yeah.
compare it to.
Interesting.
I wonder if it's rye.
Maybe. And it might be they use, I don't think the laws are the same for Canadian whiskey going into the barrel, that it has to go into a brand new charred oak barrel. I think that Canadian whiskeys are utilizing used barrels.
Probably.
So-
They probably do a little bit of both.
That might be why it's a little more mellow. I don't know. I can't really
Yeah, I'm
get
not getting a
right
whole lot of flavor on it. That's for sure. Little vanilla caramelish, but not heavy.
Yeah, it's a really soft, really subdued whiskey. It's just a sipper, kind of an easy sipping whiskey.
I actually probably prefer it on with some ice and
I
just
think
sip
so.
it that way.
Yeah, rather than just neat.
Yeah, it's just not. It doesn't have the flavor hit that I like when I
Right.
have neat whiskey. I think so.
True.
That's my opinion.
True.
Who cares?
It's it's a sipper
Yeah.
on some ice. I enjoyed it with ice too. I drank
Yeah.
a fair amount of it.
Again, for $20, I couldn't.
Yeah.
I got one too, just because the price was so good.
Absolutely. And we love our age-stated
Yes.
whiskeys. So
I'm a sucker
kudos
for
to
that.
you guys. I know. I want to know how old it is. I don't know why. I just can't
Right.
wrap my head around
That's why I
it.
can't buy the rabbit hole one, because it says age a minimum of 3 years. Like for $70,
Yeah, forget that.
but they say it's
Forget
good.
it.
I don't know.
Say. Maybe one
Maybe
of
I'll
these days
Yeah, maybe I'll.
we'll break down and get it.
Yeah, I almost did the other day.
You had it in your hand. Okay, whiskey. It's a good gateway whiskey. It's
Good for
soft,
the price.
approachable. Price is great. Even when it's not on sale, I think it's $22
Yeah.
for that. So,
Like if you were going to get
age-stated-
regular Canadian Club, I might just pick up that instead for
Right.
like if you for making cocktails or whatever
Sure.
you do. It gives up a little more flavor.
Sure. Yeah, it would probably make a pretty decent old fashioned.
Be
It
sweet.
might get lost. The bitters might overpower it. Your Angostura bitters, if you put a regular 4 dashes or so, it might get lost. So usually a bolder bourbon or rye goes well with those,
Yeah.
just because they hold up. But some
lighter
softer
whiskey drink,
cocktails, might be really decent. I like it. I'll
it's good.
probably keep it in the bar because it's
Yeah.
a great sipper, economical, readily available all over. You can find Canadian Club 12-year. From what I've gathered, it's pretty available everywhere. It's a blended whiskey. They're probably producing tons of it. So if you've got that whiskey drinker, or you think they might be a whiskey drinker in your household, and you'd like to introduce them to something because they've already tried bourbon and made that crazy face and gagged and stuff because it's just too bold and strong, I would really recommend Canadian.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's even softer than Irish.
Yeah. Oh
It's
yeah.
just a really soft, approachable whiskey.
Yeah.
I got
I
nothing
agree.
else.
Yeah.
We hope you're enjoying the show. Remember, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Share us with your friends. We are rapidly approaching 2,000 subscribers.
Ooh.
I really feel in my heart we're going to break it
I know
before
you
the
did. You've
end of
been
the
texting
year.
me.
I know. I think we're going to be there. We're almost at the end of the year. So, cheers to 2020
Being done.
being done.
That was a pretty good year for me, so I don't know.
It was. It was a decent year. I mean, we made do.
Yeah.
Had some good whiskeys and had a good time. So, with that, we'll wrap up this review. Canadian Club 12-year blended whiskey. As always, enjoy your whiskeys and bourbons
Any way you like.
Cheers, everybody. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.